Welcome back to Terminus, The Last Escape, and today is going to be the day we are going to get to Terminus. Even if I have to edit this video a bit more than I normally do, we are getting there. Currently we're on a fire station. We're going to be waking up at the start of day 16. We've got a southern room to check out, then we're going to go north to check out a library, and then after that we're going to make our way over to Terminus. Probably pop in at that fortified house I talked about at the end of the last episode. Then we'll go straight to Terminus after that. But let's get started straight but on the episode. Okay, 4 o'clock in the morning, Sandy's up. Now, we did have this starving elder come in and open the door in the middle of the night, so I did get a little worried about that, but I didn't hear banging anywhere else, so it was fine. So I am going to put Sandy right the way onto the door down the bottom here. Because we've heard no banging, I know this room's safe. And then I'm just going to pass a turn. Now, because that guy's been running around a lot, he's actually brought some attention. So Barry is still asleep. So he will be awake the next turn. If they break the windows, I'm not too fussed. I'm not going to be ever coming back here, most likely. So Sandy, you need to use about 10 AP on stuff. Well, we'll get your food sorted first. And as you saw on that food, we're losing morale by eating it now. So we probably will have to use that soft drinks at some point today. I think I'm just going to put a couple of into that book. And then we'll swap it out. It's down to 1.3 now. It's not that efficient now. And we'll wait to go for the door until the next turn. So AP-wise, you'll be up to 29.2. So yeah, we'll spend the 10 on something. So I did leave 1 page left on Cat Eyes. So now we're up to rank 2. And we're going to reread that book. And we're about a third of the way through it again. So we're up to rank 2 Cat Eyes, and Barry's up to rank 2 Cat Eyes as well. And all we want to do is loot the bottom down here, pick up the gun, and go back to the car, and then that's it. We'll go up to the library, and then we'll make our way to Terminus. So Sandy, let's come into here and get some visibility. So there is a zombie there. Couldn't find anything. Rubbing alcohol on a bandage. I was hoping to pick up another fire axe. That's not fine. Let's close the door. Barry, you are awake now, so you can eat your food. And we'll put you up by the window there. You don't need to spend any AP. And the next turn we'll zone out to pick up the gun and go. So that means Sandy can come up to here. Ah, we didn't actually get the fuel out, so it's a good job I did have a look. So that's another 7 fuel we've just picked up. And Sandy doesn't need to use anything, so that's past the turn. There could be crops or something down the bottom here. But again, I think crops are only on house tiles. Okay, quite a bit there, but we will wake up that guy. I do need to go and pick up that gun. It's a great trading item. We could go and take out this guy here and stand in that spot, which might be a good idea. Because there's a lot of tension and Sandy's going to have to stand there. So yeah, the only way Barry will come back, but yeah, look at the nonsense here. Pick up the gun, the rifle, take out this guy because he's the weakest. And then go and stand on that spot. And let's go and store all our loot and I'll bring you back. Okay, we've put everything away, but I have just come to a realisation. We said we was going to cook in the morning. This doesn't look very good for cooking, does it, really? So Sandy's on 10 AP. Barry could do actually some cooking. Would cost a couple of AP, but that's fine. He's got enough. But we need to cook this turn, otherwise these meats are going to go. I think the stuff down the bottom should have 2 days plus on it still. Yeah, over 2 days on that, so I don't need to mess around with that. It's just this one meal I've got to cook at the top here. And if you don't know why I'm storing the lighters like that, if you have a fortified house that asks for a trading quest where they need a light source. As long as it's got one charge on, you can use it for trading. So that's why I always keep one charge on my lighters, unless I've got no other option than to use it. And let's cook that meat. Put them both in the same meal. It's going to be 20 turns on it. And it will have a morale boost as well, so that's fine. And this one could use a pot or a pan, so I didn't need to pick the pot up in this recipe, but some recipes are very particular. So we need to cut that into 2, most likely. Let's divide it into 3. Put them into the car, because this is stale. Oh, actually, they're both stale. So that means this one is the priority one to eat. So you don't need it yet at 6.5. And there's going to be no water in, so you can just drink the water as normal. And when you get down to 23.5, we'll eat a cooked meal. So we'll keep it on you because it's going to be eaten soon. And Sandy could eat one now. And you can take one with you. And we've still got 67 turns. Again, it is giving us negative morale to eat this meal now. So we was right at the limit of the amount of food we cooked up and fish we did. We probably did a couple of more fish than we desperately needed to, but it was mainly while we was filling up the bottles. That's the only reason we was fishing. So we're not great on food, but we have got those traps we set down. So we have got 4 meals at the bottom. It's going to give us at least 4 meat. Maybe one of them will give us 2 pieces. And we can make another 30 or 40 society meals. Okay, so I am happy to leave here. The car has enough fuel in because we did put some in on the night before. And let's quickly pop up to the library. That's not too bad. Nice and quiet, that's what I was hoping for. There is a nimble there, so Barry's going to go up and do some fighting. There's a rotten zombie there we want to check. Good chance of loot. And we need 3.7. I think I'm just going to clear this bat out now. It served us well. Now, we do have a lockpick, haven't we? Okay, I think I'm forcing it open with the, Did it use the lockpick? Yeah, it did use the lockpick. That's fine. We got into there. So, Sandy, come into the building. There's somebody behind the door there. And there's a zombie with 7.2 there. So if I move Barry there, this guy has got sight of us and we'll try and take it out. If we can't, not a big issue. And I think I'm okay using the pan. It's going to be 3 attacks. But that's fine. That will give Sandy time to loot. Recipe book, box trap. We'll do it. Maybe it'll catch bigger animals. And where do we want to go? We'll pick up the plank up at the top. So there is a zombie in there. Hopefully they're not too big of a movement range. We could go and close. Actually, the door's broke, so it's pointless closing it. Don't have any AP, and Barry's got no AP, so let's pass the turn. More stuff for trading. And let's just get you into the building there, just so I can see what I'm dealing with. So we have a guy there can only move a couple, and we have 2 more in here. It is a bit more trouble than I really want to be dealing with. But we could find some good things in here. Yeah, there's a lot of zombies on this tile. What's the axe doing? 6.2 will take you out. What are you? 1.7. So you could be took out with a spear. Use the lowest one. And you can't... No, you can't get to me. There's 2 outside the door that could possibly get to me. And then there's some in this room that could possibly get to me. We could back off, but I do want to just loot this quickly and get out of here. So I'm just going to pass a turn. Now, this guy can't get up to this square here. So I think I'm going to send Sandy to do this and do this. There's a rain barrel out there with quite a lot of water in there, 528. I do want to go and pick that up. I don't think I've ever found an elf stat book, that's fine. I don't think I've ever found a rain barrel. I've always found makeshift rain barrels. But that's 5,000 water that can hold. I don't ever remember coming across one of those. Only the weaker versions of them. Top up on our novels, that's fine. Now this guy... This guy's blocking the unit I wanted to check. Watching my time, I've still got 10 hours. So I think Barry's going to come into this room and deal with these people. Because there is quite a bit of trouble in here. Okay, you can only move one so we can easily get round you. I think I'm going to put Barry there. And try and take out this and this with the big movements. Okay, 4.3. We could just use the gun. It'd be nice if it actually hit, though. What about you? What have you got? I can just avoid you. I don't need to loot you. So, Barry, what I'm going to do is put the gloves on. These will break these gloves. That's fine. 2 to loot this and 1 to move onto the square above you. This guy can't get to us. Now, we could kill him. But I don't need to. Vitamin drink's great and nice hydration amount. Did you have your food on you? You did, so let's eat that one now. And you don't have your water, so that's fine. And then we'll just come up and loot these 2. And then we can leave the tile. And then we'll send Sandy to go and get that rain barrel. And we don't have to kill this guy. And where Sandy is safe. So yeah, let's pass the turn. Now I do need to pay attention to where this guy can get to. So we can't get to either of these squares, so I'm safe. So let's take Barry up to here and let's make sure there's nobody standing outside. Which it doesn't seem to be. And you do have some water, you might as well just drink it. And I can't hear anybody. The red circles to tell me there's anybody outside. Okay, not a great library. We have one more chance. Ah, there was one table there unchecked. I should have checked that earlier. I'm happy we've looted it as best as we can. There is a couple of zombies over there. Neither one can get to me. This guy can't get to me if he did see me. So I'm happy where Sandy is. Just don't overcap my AP. So spend 3 AP on something. And Barry, you're done for the turn because this guy can't get to you and this guy can't get to you. Now all Sandy's got to do is come over here and pick it up. But I am thinking, now that guy's moved, we'll loot this. Maybe we can get some good books. No, unfortunately not. So let's move over there, 3.7. You've still got about 11 AP. None of these guys have seen you because of your skill. And we'd have to be on this far side of the vehicle to get away from this guy and this guy. We can't. It must be empty first, so we need to go and get the bottles to go and empty that, and then we could take it afterwards. I think it's going to be a good call. Go to that square, Sandy. Actually, go to the zone point. Sandy's safe. And Barry, where are we going to send you? This is going to be the easiest way to get back to the car. Now, it doesn't have to be Sandy that's going back up. It could easily be Barry. And Barry would get there a lot faster and back a lot faster. So I think that is going to be the play. So anything that's empty, take and see if we can empty it out. If not, then we'll get a load of empty bottles at least. So I'm happy nobody can get to me. Barry, it's going to take you 5 to get there. Probably 2 to take it down, and you need to empty all the bottles as well, so we might need to do some combat. So it might have been better taking Sandy to do that and Barry to do the combat, but we'll have a look how it is on the next turn. Even if we just fill up all the empty bottles and don't take the item, it's going to be worth it still. Yeah, but that's had a lot of water. So yeah, that could fill up another 19 bottles. So that is really, really good. We're currently here. Let's add a note. Yeah, we'll put a note on. Rain barrel, 380 water. Like I said, massive find. I've never found one of them before. And I've cleared the old map, so that must be an ultra rare item. Barry could get back to the vehicle. 3.2 is the closest. He doesn't have as much for combat, unfortunately. And Sandy. Let's refuel the truck. So we don't actually desperately need to go to the gas station because we've only got 2 empty cans. We've still got 10, 20, 30, 35, 39. But we would be using quite a bit, I think, to get back to... Like I said, we could pop in the fortified house, but it's... It could have calmed down a bit from what it was. I think it's just worth making that push. Just in case... It's a lot better than it was the last time we was here. Let's just put it that way. So we could just go to that door. Sandy's got enough AP. We don't need to be here for long. Let me just grab some trading stuff on Sandy and put everything away. And then we'll see if we can do any trades here before we disappear. Well, actually, what might be a good idea before we do anything... is go and see if there's anything worth trading. So look at quests first always. Gather bags. Seems to be one of the most popular quests you come across. So you want 3 bags for 7. That's easy to do. Now, I did... Although those are really good meals. Those are for the army base stews. And 2 axes we could trade for. Get 2 more axes. Get the 2 meals at the top. Not even too worried about getting the onion, so we'd have to do 4 overwhelmingly eyes if I want to get this trade to work. But the good thing is somebody did inform me, we have 180% trader value. If I do the quest and get 7 reputation, that goes down to about 165. So then I get better trade items. So what we'll do is do the give help quest, give them 3 bags, get the 7 rep, do the trading, then we'll do the request help at the very end after I've done all my trading. So yeah, definitely worth trading here. So Sandy's got a bit of AP, so we're just going to go back 1, sort out all the trading stuff, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I think I've got everything I want out the vehicle to try and do a trade. So what I've just noticed on Sandy, she's at strength, or he's at strength 3. It's hard to tell if it's a she or an he, to be honest. There's no sort of male or female clothing in the game. It's just you can be whatever you want to be. So, strength-wise, we're missing 2. But if I go and have a look at the strength books we've got in the car, we've got 2. This has already been used once. So that means this book, because it's got less pages, it's got about 37 less pages than this. That means this one I can trade. Elf stat the same. Well, we need 4 skills. We haven't learnt this one yet. So I could read that 4 times and give that one away, but we've already started to read it. So I won't do anything with that. I've got a good selection of stuff on me. So yeah, let's go over and see what trades we can do. So first thing we want to be doing is give them the 3 bags. So that was that makeshift bag I picked up a long time ago. The fanny packs I just don't like using. And then we've got 2 of these. So I'm going to give the one with the poised condition away. And we'll keep one just in case we need to use it. Give items. So now we've gone from 180% to 166%. So now you want to do your trading so we get a better price at trading now. Now, as you see, I've got a lot of stuff. It's going to take me a while to try and get some good trades. So the first trade I want to be doing is canned meal, canned beans. So let's see what I can do to get hold of that. Now, I did manage to do a trade. Now, the one thing I realised when I was looking in the car is clean water, the big bottles, are trade items. It does mean if I'm going to give 2 away on this trade to make this happen with all this food, water we can easily replenish. The only thing we can't replenish is the buckets or the bottles the water goes in. And it would mean giving away 40 of our clean water, but as you saw, we've just picked up a load of dirty water. I can easily make some more clean water, but the problem is it would give 2 of my very good bottles away. But I still think I'm going to do that trade. The rifle, a revolver, 2 bottles of clean water. Again, I tried every other options we had. The 8x scope. So yeah, I'm happy with that first trade. Now the second trade, we might even be able to trade that water back at some point. The second trade I would want is the axes, but this time I'm only going to do the fire axe because it's really hard to get up to overwhelming the eye if I've got 2 of them in there. So we'll do that one and let's see what I can do to get this. Okay, the next trade, I think that's the best I can do. We're going to trade for the fire axe, for 3 windbreakers, 2 painkillers. I've not used any in this run at all, and I've got a few in the car, and a guidebook. Well, that will work as well. I know we've definitely got that recipe. So let's trade that away, and then I'm going to see if I can do a trade for the axe. Okay, I've managed to do another good trade. So we've got the axe. We're giving away 3 of the books we don't need. The sailing and the helicopter books. We've got 2 rubbing alcohol to trade away. And I'm going to give them 3 wire and they will allow me to get the axe. I am thinking maybe I'll trade back for the water. Just so I don't have to make a trip to the park anytime soon. There's nothing else in there I would want now except for the water. I now have managed to do another trade. So I'm going to trade away the MP3 player that's now used to us. It's not worth recharging these as we've already showed in a previous episode. It takes 10 AP to give 1 charge on here, and that 1 charge only gives 4 morale, where I could just read a book like a Bible 10 times and get 10 morale back. So it's just not worth it. We'll trade them away. We've got a book for leg strike we'll trade away because we're just not using leg strikes. A thick book, 1 of the guidebooks we've already finished, and a couple of angle foregrips. And just to balance out the trade, I managed to take 1 of the wires back. And I think I'm going to try and trade for that other water. Okay, and I've managed to trade back for the other water so we can get hold of that. There's nothing else I can really add into this. This is really tough to get this trade to work. So we've given away 1 of our pots, 1 of the low shovels, 2 of the street maps. That only leaves us with 1 street map left, but I'm happy with that. Given away the spare electric siphon, and we've given away another shovel down here as well. So we've still got a couple of shovels and some in the car. But we did get all our water back. That was the more important one. I'm not worried about trading for the satiety. I don't think... That could be good for the morale, but it is considered a very high. I don't know if I'm going to get it made. And surprisingly enough, I did actually manage to trade for the very high item. So what I've done is give away a couple of more pans and 3 of the books we've finished with as well. And we get the beer. So I think that's about the best set of trades I can do. Ah, I did forget I've got to get a trust level. So I just need to trade for 1 trust. Hopefully we've got enough stuff left over, like screwdrivers and stuff. I think I'm okay with that. 3 screwdrivers, another guidebook we finish with, a couple of pieces of wire, and we gain a trust level. Now we're up to 8 trust. Again, if I'd have thought about it, I could have done that trade first. And then I would have been 164% on my trade instead of 165. So I could have got a little bit more out of them trades. But I'm happy with that. Again, a lot of good stuff down here I could select. I could have put another 2 trust in and got some like enhanced clothing or enhanced bags, and we might be able to get one of the better bags. But no. For me, at this present time, fuel is the only thing I would want to trade for. So there's a gas can. And then request help again. And another fuel can. And as you see, it's gone up to 172. And now back up to 180. So it seems like 1 trust level is equals 2%. So you would have to be up fairly high to be able to get that down to not having a negative. You need 40 trust level to be able to get that down to just 100%, so a standard barter price. But yeah, let's go and put all this stuff away. Sandy will be a bit low on AP into the next turn, but Barry does have a bit more to play with. Now, because we've just picked up that fuel, we don't need to do anything at the gas station, I'm pretty certain of that. And I do want to clear the Terminus tile on this episode. So let me put all this stuff away we just traded for. Okay, everything's been put away. Now, how much fuel will it take? It's saying we haven't got enough, so we need to top up the car with 1 set of fuel. So we've got 20 fuel in the vehicle, and I've got 44 fuel in cans. Okay, it's time we go to Terminus and try out the new stuff. So we can go all the way to the Terminus tile as long as there's no blockage on this railroad or this railroad. Fingers crossed. 17.4 fuel. And look at that nonsense. Now, let's start having a bit of fun. Now, these will start shooting if we stay here, but we're not planning on staying here. We could have made a gut poncho and did all that. But no, Sandy. Let's use the gas lighter with the lowest charge. And where do we want to put the first one? Actually, let's take it back. Let's do Barry first because Barry has less range. Now, I'm thinking in this little cross here is going to be his first one. In that square there. Just trying to see how far. He could drop one down there, that will cover all these. He could drop one there, that will cover all these. So I think that's going to be his first one there. Luckily, there's no throw skill in the game, so we don't have to worry. We do have to be careful, because where I was going to drop it is there, but sand is in the way. So we'd have to drop one there, and I think that's where Barry's next. I'm going to get Barry to drop one here. Now, unfortunately, we can't do anything about them 3 on the zone point. Let's grab a couple of more Molotovs out the car. We want to deal with something with these big skull ones here. So I'm watching my AP, so it's 7.6. If I drop one there, it doesn't cost any AP to use Molotovs. We're not going to use the one we get gas 1, we'll use the gas 4. We'll drop one there. Well, we made Molotovs for a reason. Barry, next one. We'll drop one there. That doesn't affect Sandy. So there's a couple of loose ones we haven't got, but they'll have to pass through fire to get to us. And Barry, can you drop one more down? With your other lighter. And let's drop it in that square there. That will cover a good amount. Now, is there anywhere what I would want to cover where I haven't done? The only one would be this tile here, but I don't want to hit my vehicle. Now, I don't think you can ever destroy your vehicle, but I'd rather not try that out. And then what we're going to do is just drive one tile back onto the railroad. Okay, that's not exactly what I was after. I was hoping there'd be no guys. That tough zombie is a problem. Can we go back? Okay, so we would have to fill the fuel up to go back. Put 1 gas can in for 5. I just need it to be fairly clear around us, which none of these tiles are. Couple of spears on the floor. Looks like there's a spear there and a spear up here. Now we've got 2 around us. Is this a lot easier to take out? Well, we've got 1 there. If Sandy was to move back a square, this guy's not a problem. We'd only have to take out 2. Barry would have to take out 3. I think we can do it. Take you out. We could do you with spears. It would be 2 hits. That's what I was worried about. Okay, we managed to take out the 2 problems, and then Sandy would have to take out this one. We do have emergency drinks to use if we need to. Okay, we'd have to go with the axe. That's the only way we could take this guy out. And then we'd have to move back 1 square. So we're safe where we are. Might be a little longer of an episode, this one. I do want to get the Terminus tile cleared on this one. Now, how is Barry doing? Because I want Barry to have a lot of AP going into the next zone. Now, technically, Barry can just move down 1. Pick up the rag, and then stop the zone point. Oh, that's a fishing rod. Okay. Would be useful to go and pick up that fishing rod. Just checking everybody's movements. So I think we need to kill this guy with Sandy. What would the fire axe do? Have we got a chance of taking it out? No. So it would be 2 hits on whatever I use. So I need something with a minimum of 3.2. Gonna have to be the axe. So these guys can't get to me. This guy can't get to me. This guy would have to break down a lot of fences to get to me. And those fences have 30, so neither one of these zombies are going to get to me. Could go and pick up the small flashlight. Would that be out of range still? It would. "16 turns. That was a good call. Let's pass another quick turn. I want to give it at least 3 hours before I go onto the Terminus tile. So I think... Sandy, let's refuel this a few times. Just in case I need to back out. So let's refill it 3 times. Like I said, that fishing rod would be nice to go and pick up. We could run down there, cut the fence and pick it up, but we do have 2 in the car, so we don't desperately need it. And that's only a knife spear. So I think I'm just going to go back 1 tile. So we do have a location down there which won't be a railroad. Which is... That one won't be a railroad because, again, you can tell where the tracks are going, where the railroads are going to be. But yeah, let's use the car. Let's move back 1 tile closer. It is really hard to click this. I think I've just about got it there. The thing I'm worried about is if I go to the Terminus tile too early, I'm going to be standing in fire, and that's what I'm really worried about. Let's try it. Let's try our luck. We've got enough fuel to back off if we need to. So as you see, there's a lot of fire around. So where Sandy's standing, there is fire. And I don't think we've got many ointments. We've actually only got one ointment. I'm pretty confident on that. Barry, have you got an ointment? No. This is the only thing about doing fire like this. I do need to give it at least one more turn. We could easily go to this tile, but again, we don't know when we're going into. Do one tile at a time. See where the vehicle comes in this side. So it's at the top. We've got a tough zombie next to us. Because the last time we was parked over here. I could easily take out these two guys. This guy would have to be took out, and then the tough would have to be took out as well. If I want to stop on this tile. I think I do want to do that because I don't want to keep wasting all the fuel I've got on me. Barry does have a lot of AP, so yeah, I think we can stop on here and then allow the people to come in from Terminus and then take them out on this square for a couple of turns. So yeah, take this guy out here, 5.9. Now, you didn't pick up the second axe I left you in the truck, so let's go and get that sorted. So I just want the best of the fighting ones, so that's the two best we've got. And we'll keep a spare fire axe in there. So what are you doing with axes now? 5.7 to 7. What about the fire axe? It's guaranteed to take it out in one if it hits. And that's what I need at the moment. Still watching this one, so he should only be able to get to them two squares there. So I'm going to send Barry over this side here. To take out this big guy. And yeah, let's just use the big... we've got a 4% proficiency. That was a fantastic crit. Can Sandy take out both these? I'm pretty confident Sandy can. So let's go with the weakest of the axes. 4.1 minimum, yep. Do I want to take the risk? Or do I want to make sure I've got enough AP going into the next turn? I think I'll use 2 hits. Let's play it sensible. Check this guy's movement again. He can only get up to this square or this square. And there is a zone point free. I'm expecting people to come onto this tile through this gap here. But the maximum you can ever have is 4 people zone at one turn. Because that's all that can fit on a square. Pass the turn. We are coming into night, so I want to be able to clear that terminus before night hits. Nobody zoned through. That's not what I was expecting. Okay, in that case, Sandy, pick up the stuff underneath you. Especially that potent stuff. And let's drive back onto Terminus. Hopefully the fire's died down. Not totally. So, he has 0 attack, he has a little bit of attack, so that's easy to take out. The only problem is if a fire spreads onto Barry's square, we haven't got the ointment to get rid of it. We could just go and run up to the fence. We don't need to fight this, but we would be running through fire unless I do one tile at a... I'd have to move from there to there. But I think we're going to be running through fire, so no. So to keep backtracking, but I've got to play it safe. We've done all this hard work. I'm not going to give it up now. So Barry, come over here and take out the construction worker. Let's get some proficiency with the big weapon. Okay, 2 left. That's a weak dagger. What about you? You can't get to us, so we don't need to desperately take you out. But Sandy does have a spear, so I think I'm just going to do it from a diagonal. Okay, some food. Not bad. Let's just make sure our characters are next to a vehicle just in case I need to move. And Sandy, you've got... You might as well refuel up the best you can. Now, the one thing I've got to pay attention to is can we get back to the gas station? So I've got 26.9 in fuel only. If we was to drive back to the gas station, which is here, I would only need 8.7. So I could go back up to Terminus and back down a couple of more times. It would be like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15... Yeah, I've got enough to do another 2 quick trips into Terminus. Let's just make sure we're not going to waste any AP. So you're going to waste 27. So you want to use 3 AP on something. We could just use it on novels, to be honest. That would have been the better option. So let's just see if anybody zones through this turn. And I'm going to wait one more turn. And this turn we am going to be getting our morale up. But we might as well just use the books out the car. Take it up to a 20. Okay, let's get our food sorted as well. So, unfortunately, we're down to 3 meals. We've got 14 turns only on the lettuce, so we need to be using that pretty soon. Still got all this dirty water we can cook up as well. Something Sandy could do on this turn. Or even Barry. Let's just take everything with us, even the stuff with condition bars, and let's see all the recipes we have access to. Now, I do know we have an MRE there, and the flour I know I can mix with salt. Oh, and a level up. So what would Barry be doing? Well, he's about to do some cooking. And we did say we're running out of satiety. Yeah, have Barry as our main cooker. We'll put the survival cooking on him. Skillful search would have been really good, but we've already looted most of the stuff we was going to be looting on this tile anyway. Okay, Barry's got quite a bit on him. Let's get that fire started. You need to get the lighter out the car, don't you? So we are running out of lighters now. We've got a lot with one charge. I will use them if I've got no other option. Let's start that fire up. And let's see what options we've got with cooking. So we could do the baked bean one. We've had that before. That was a fairly good recipe. I need something with lettuce that could go into there, because that is the one that's about to break. We could actually say in that... the ones with the lowest timers on. So you have over 2 days. You only have 1 day on. Let's put some meat, and that might be giving us some better options with recipes. Only give us 2 pieces of meat, unfortunately. I was hoping they would give 2. Chuck the low condition cheese and the carrots in, just in case it increases the amount of recipes we can do. Okay, so we're looking for something that can have vegetables in. So any vegetable. So that cooked canned meal there can have cheese, it can have pepper, it can have the raw meat in, which is more important, and it can have the lettuce in. So I think that's the one we're going to have to do. Unfortunately, I wanted to keep that meal. It does give a 79 turn. So that's 3-day meal. What would that be satiety? 41 satiety only, unfortunately. Because the lettuce doesn't have much satiety. So if you look 5, 10, 20, 36, up to 41. I think we're going to have to do it. We don't desperately need to cook the rest. It's just we need to get rid of these lettuce before the morning. Now, what I'm going to do with Barry is move Barry to this square. And I'm going to move Sandy to this square. Because I've got the water on Sandy. Have I? No, because I haven't picked up a pot or a pan. Do me a batch of 8 water. Just while we've got the fire. Okay, you can do it all. Okay, let's just put all this away. Okay, so we've put everything in the car now, so we get an idea what we've got. Again, we're doing meals at 6.9, so I've broke it into 6 parts. So that's 42, so that's 2 days and a few little bits there. So we've got just over 2 days food, plus all the non-condition bar stuff. I think I want to wait one more turn. So Barry's not going to overcap. And now Sandy's not going to. So let's just pass the turn. And then hopefully the fires have died down at Terminus. That's what I've been waiting for. Now, I don't think there's any way to get rid of the burning except for by ointments. Now, most of the people are damaged to the point that they're not that dangerous. There is a group over there what could really get done with done. And Barry is trapped between this and this. We could just take all these out and wait on this tile. The biggest ones up here. Sandy is the one in trouble for. Now, we could just take... I'm a bit wary about running through fire. There's nowhere Sandy can go that's safe to get away from fire except for this square here. But you would have to kill this and kill this. And this guy here, he could do like 30 attack in a turn. I don't know if Sandy's got enough to kill both these. I think we've just got to try. We can't keep running off the tile. Let's attack this guy. Let's see if we can do it with the biggest axe. Even if we have to take off all the condition. Oh, we managed to pick up another axe. That's a bonus. And then we're going to have to come here and take this guy out. Now, it's going to be 2 hits. There's no way. But it's got a very small chance. Oh, okay. We got lucky on that. There is some food there, so I am going to go up and pick it. We did just get a damage of 1. But there's no fire around me, so I think Sandy's safe. And I think Barry would have to take out these and these here. Now again, these are fairly easy because it's just knife. .7. Probably your spear can do that. Not quite. What would be your next one up? That's only 2.5, I remember it. It's going to be the shovel. What about you? Ah, you could still get to us. Now, there isn't fire there, so that's fine. Well, now it's saying burn, but we couldn't see a fire there. This is why it's very tricky to play with fire. 4.1. Another axe there. And again, it doesn't say that there's fire on that square, so I don't know why I got fire unless it was from this here. But we have got a disease and a burn. Who's got the ointment? Well, disease is easy to do with antibiotics. I think the ointment is still on Sandy. Now, Sandy isn't showing as being burnt, so that's fine. It was one thing we didn't pick up much of in this run. And let's use the ointment. Now, I don't think there's any way of us actually making ointment. No, because you can't make drugs. So, looking at that screen, There's no fire showing here. There's no fire showing here or in the squares next to the characters. So I'm just going to tempt fate. And now I'm on the tile. Terminus are going to do their things by shooting people. But we've already took most of the damage out. There is a couple of people up to the right. So these fires did just go down a little bit. But as you see here, fire is starting to spread to where Barry is. And we don't have any more ointment. So unfortunately, I am going to have to retreat. Otherwise, somebody's going to get seriously burnt. Okay, Barry has got quite a bit on him. So he's going to go and do this. There is 3 more that's zoned in. There is a dead squirrel over there, so that's more food. These are only about 2, so that's easy to take out. And this guy's not even that hard to take out. Machete. Not quite. We get to that square, we can take this guy out with a spear. There is a big guy there. But I'm happy just to clear this up before we go into night. And these should be able to get done with a knife. Not quite. You can. And you would be a machete. And I think we've got more than enough to get this guy done. I think I'm going to give it until 2000 before I try and zone back onto that tile. Now this guy could get a little bit, but he can't get all the way up there in 2 turns. And that's what I'm planning on doing, is going back up here. Now, we could run away from this guy, but being as though we're here and picking up the squirrel. What time's it got? Rotten in 4 days. So it is stale currently, unfortunately. But we put that in the car and make a meal out of it later. And let's kill this guy. Let's go with the lower of the axes. 2.6. Machete's got a very good chance of taking it out. Some free antibiotics. You have a lot of movement, but you would have to go through that fence to get to us. I'm happy of moving Sandy just to there. And moving Barry up to there. Hopefully he will attack the fence in front of him and not try and come for this gap. Otherwise it will get to us easier. You'll be on 25, so use 5 AP on one of your books. And yeah, this one is going to be a bit of a long episode, unfortunately, but I do want to get through onto the Terminus in this episode. And we said give it 2 turns, so we'll give it 1 more turn. We do want Sandy to be picking up the pliers out the car. We do have a good light. 5 turns we can use it there. We do have some batteries to extend it as well. So all we're going to do on this turn is just use our AP. So you'll be on 30.1. So you just need to use 10 AP. There's 1 level of clean attack. Put it in here now. I think I want to boost my morale on both characters, though. Let's find a book with 2 in. Yep, that's fine. You'll be right on 20 on the next turn. Same with Barry. Get your AP dealt with first. Find a book with 2. This is why I've been collecting so many novels. 23.2, I'm happy with that. You don't need any food. You could just drink some water. Let's get our conditioned up max. And I think I'm going to get everyone to carry... Yeah, carry a big bottle on both of them as a backup. Because I don't know what we're going into. We're going into a new zone soon. So what are you going to be on? You don't need to use anything. You'll be just below your maximum on the next turn. And then we'll do the same with you. Carry one big bottle. Anything you don't need, you're just going to dump away. And I've got everybody just to carry a few meals on them as well. Because again, I don't know how long it's going to be before we get back to the car. We'll leave all this stuff in here. 40 hours water on each character. That's nearly 2 days. And probably close to a day food on us. Let's pass the turn. And we're going to go back to Terminus for the last time, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Could just zone through if we really want to. Lot better. Barry's still in a bit of a precarious situation down at the bottom. But Sandy looks in a much better position. Just a bit worried about this fire size and this fire size. Hopefully them dying down and they don't spread anymore. So again, Sandy. Binzo, you're right next back to the vehicle. You need 1.3 morale, so something that's going to give 1.7, that's fine. We'll get you to use just 9 AP on something. You'll nearly finish the cat eyes for the 3rd time. And Barry, you need 1.8 minimum, so let's just read a book out of the car. Keep the 2 on you. Your max morale, that's fine. Actually, I'm also going to get both people to carry 1 energy drink with them just in case we need it. Barry is going to be needing to use at least 13 AP. But he has enough books. I'm happy to just put that in the car as well. Good selection of weapons on us. We're about as prepared as we're ever going to be. So let's look in your bag and see what we can do. Two more AP. And let's pass the turn. Hopefully nobody gets burnt. Nice energy drink up on the top left. I'd like to go and pick that up. So Barry didn't get burnt, so that's good. This guy can't get to us, so I'm going to spend AP again on this turn. Just spend 11 AP on Sandy. Well, 7 AP and we've already learnt cat eyes again for the 3rd time. We'll reread it. And then we're doing it for the last time now. And then we can trade that book away. Barry, what are you going to have? 13 AP to use. You've nearly finished the strong spirit. And I'm actually just going to get you to finish it. And while you're at it, put the strong spirit away, grab another book. Whatever's good for you now. You haven't got much left in here. Sharp ears could be good. We are probably going to be zoning soon, so we might need a pathfinder. Energy saver with less sleep. I think probably the elf stat book would be good for you. More AP. So you've got observation and elf, so you've got a couple of good books. And we've used them both, so we just pass a turn. Just waiting for the fire to die around by Barry so I can get him out. Okay, that fire's gone. But I am going to do it in small steps. Bit worried about this fire being so close to this. Now, Sandy. And you've got to level up. Brilliant. Clean attack, keepsake collector or body strike. Being as though we're a bit low on weapons, we've got a few axes and stuff. We're not desperate, but I would like our weapons to last a little longer. But you all have already got keepsake collector on you. So I think I am going to go with the second level of keepsake because we've already got clean attacking books to learn. Energy drink. Put the fence, make sure I don't climb over it. And then Barry, I'm going to make sure you follow a similar path. So Sandy, you can move straight to Terminus now. And Barry, let's get you straight through to Terminus for 5.1. This is the first time I've done this on the new run. So let's see what happens. It should be giving us an option to continue, because that's what it said. You have arrived at Terminus. You'll be safe here for the time being. So this is just like a normal run, but it did say definitely that you can continue on from your run. And again, Apocalypse, Permadeath. We haven't done much zombie killing in this run. Let's see what new options it gives us. Okay, so I'm a bit worried about this. Now, it is telling us we've got another job through now, so we've just 5 jobs we haven't got to Terminus on. It's supposed to go straight onto the Terminus tile. That's what it said in the patch notes. You finally reached the Terminus. And we want to be using Barry with all the skills he's just got. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. So it looks like we're going to lose the student, because it's only giving me the option for the main fighters to go through. So yeah, again, I was expecting that. I know I made an error at the very start of the series where I didn't collect the last one to start straight on there. But it did say you can just go through Terminus and get onto the next zone. Now, we was going on crowded, so we'll stick the same. Exactly the same conditions we've got to Terminus. We'll select Barry again. But it's not giving me an option to change the survival partner. I'm hoping we continue with all the loot we've just got. Otherwise, I've just wasted all that time getting all the loot for no reason. As your trust with Terminus grows, more events and rewards will be unlocked. So yeah, it's not giving me the second character. All that work we did with Sandy. Because again, if you look at our traits, it started with no weight, so we've just started a brand new run with none of the items I've just farmed. And there was no option on there what says continue to Terminus at any point. And because we've got the survival skill on Barry and it's not giving me the second character up here, I think all that work we've just done with the student was for nothing. You get bits. If I was bitten, I wouldn't be standing here. Seriously, I'm clean. I've seen plenty say that right before they've turned. How many infected have you killed? Too many to count. And how many people? Somebody else is coming down now. Gideon. That's enough. You know how fast it happens after the bite. If they made it this far, they're probably fine. You are correct. I'm Gideon, acting lead here at Terminus. It's good you made it. These days, every survivor counts more than ever. Come on in. We'll get you settled. You've entered Terminus. It's a safe zone where you can interact with NPCs. Hostile actions, such as using throwable weapons, are not allowed inside Terminus. Additionally, AP cost for movement is reduced by 75%. Speak with Station Master Gideon. So it will allow me to move, but I'm looking at my skills. So it's kept all the skills I had. It's kept all the stats we had. It's got my survivor partner start with one companion, but it's not giving me the companion. And it's not giving me an option to go back. So I'm a little upset about that. So I'm going to try and start a new game because, again, if we've chose that trait, why are we not getting our survivor? So yeah, there's a survival there. Start with one companion, but it's not giving me an option. So basically, I've wasted all these points on survival, and it's not giving me an option to use it. So I'm about as upset as probably most people watching this at the moment. I was under the impression you just literally went up to Terminus and continued straight onto the next zone with all your items. That's why we've been doing all the farming. Otherwise, I could have probably been up at Terminus maybe, 4 episodes ago as soon as we got here. We wouldn't have had to worry about food and water. I'd have just zoned. And if I'd have known I'd have lost my companion, then I wouldn't have chose survival partner. Just making sure there's nothing down here. And to be quite honest, the student was the better equipped out of both of us. Because they had like 3 or 4 levels of cat eyes. I'll check back on the recording, make sure I didn't miss anything. So it looks like all that work we did with the student and all that issues we had with food and water we didn't need to do. I could have just run a solo character and been here, I don't know, by episode 8 or 9 possibly. We knew from about episode 2 or 3 roughly where Terminus was going to be, or a good guess of where it was. Yeah, I'm a little upset about that one. Like I said, a lot of work in there, and there's a lot of people put a lot of time commitment into this series. The same as me expecting my new character to be going through the zone with me. So now it looks like we're going back to one character. Because it's only sending your main character through, it's not giving you any sub-characters. The points we learnt on all the other characters has been lost. All the items we've farmed have lost. So we'll have to continue from here in the next series. As much as I've upset about it, I do want to do the new content. And we'll just have to continue on with Barry. I could start a brand new character. But no, we'll use Barry as the construction. Hopefully we can pick up a survivor along the way, and maybe we can get the student back on board. But yeah, I'm not happy about that transition. I do have a lot of good things to say about the game, but that transition, being able to do the other zone and then go to Terminus and take your items through to the new zone, was a massive draw for this new update. If you can't do that, then like I said, it's just like, what's the point in doing the first map to get to the second one? There's just no need. You just start at the second map with 0 supplies, and then you farm the stuff up here, most likely. But yeah, in the next episode, we're going to continue on with Barry and see what this zone's got to offer. But yeah, hopefully you're still enjoying the series, and I do apologise, everybody. If I'd have knew this, I would have cancelled the episode, as I said back on episode 2 when I spotted the error of me not starting automatically at the second zone. I expected there was going to be a transition. So yeah, a little upset, but it's not the end of the run. We'll continue on with Barry. It just means Barry's going to be a lot weaker, and all those good weapons we just farmed, because it's saying he's got 0 items, it means all that stuff we farmed is no use anymore. It is what it is. Let's look at the positive. Let's continue on. Let's see what the new zone has to offer, and then we'll take it from there. See you all again soon. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching.